Good evening and welcome to the Channel Studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. Ukraine's foreign minister says they will believe Russia's withdrawal of troops when they see it. Dmitry Kuleba made the comments following reports that some Russian troops were returning to base. A Russian Defense Ministry spokesman confirmed that some forces positioned on the border were returning to their bases after completing drills, raising hopes that tensions could ease. However, large-scale military exercises continue. Talks between Vladimir Putin and German Chancellor Olaf Scholz were held earlier in Moscow, the latest meeting in weeks of diplomatic efforts to defuse tensions.
We're entering the third week of illegal blockades that have been disrupting the lives of too many Canadians.
Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has taken the unprecedented step of invoking the Emergencies Act to crack down on anti-vaccine mandate protests. The Freedom Convoy protests, started by Canadian truckers opposing a COVID-19 vaccine or quarantine mandate for cross-border drivers, have drawn people opposed to Trudeau's policies on everything from pandemic restrictions to a carbon tax. Mr. Trudeau said the scope of the measures would be time-limited, but from now, with no need for a court order, banks will be able to freeze personal accounts of anyone linked with the protests. Russian figure skater Kamila Valieva has argued her positive drugs test was due to contamination with her granddad's medicine. The skater made the argument at a hearing with the Court of Arbitration for Sport into whether she should be allowed to continue competing in the Beijing Olympics. The 15-year-old skater was cleared by the Court of Arbitration for Sport to compete in today's evening singles event after a panel agreed with the Russian anti-doping agency's decision to lift a ban on her.
You must understand that it would be very difficult to allocate medals based on a situation which is not final. It's why we decided it's wiser, until we don't have clarity on the case, not to attribute medal.
South Korea's presidential candidates have formally begun campaigning in what is expected to be the tightest race in 20 years. 14 candidates have signed up since official resignation opened on Sunday, with Lee Jae-myung, the flag-bearer of the ruling Democratic Party, facing off against Yoon Suk-yeol from the Conservative main opposition party. Opinion polls suggest voters are looking for a president who can address polarized politics and tackle corruption, as well as deal with soaring house prices and deepening inequality. For now, polls also show Yoon as the favored candidate. Police in the Honduran capital have surrounded the house of the ex-president Juan Orlando Hernandez after the United States requested his extradition on drug charges. According to the Honduran security minister, Mr. Hernandez was inside his home at the time. Police had been told to surround it to prevent an escape while they waited for an arrest warrant to be issued. The country has for years been a key transit country for drugs smuggled from South America to the United States. However, Hernandez has always maintained that he did everything in his power to fight drug trafficking, enjoying the support of the US government under Donald Trump's administration. And finally, the house of South Africa's iconic leader Nelson Mandela has now been transformed into a luxury hotel. The property has 9 rooms that can accommodate a total of 18 guests. Images show rooms covered in memorabilia paying tribute to Mandela. The design of the hotel is a blend of South Africa's rich history while still maintaining a modern and glamorous look and feel. In this house, Mandela lived between 1992 and 1998. It was designed to be a space of reflection and tranquility for him and his guests. It is also where he hosted the likes of Bill Clinton and supermodel Naomi Campbell. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the Channel Studios in Lagos.